So, namaste and welcome to Satsang today. And we say, welcome to Satsang today, but really, Satsang is our life. Our life and our Satsang are the same thing. Our Satsang plays out as our life. And whatever you're experiencing in your life right now is perfect to help you deepen in your awakening. It doesn't mean we're going to like it or ever choose it, but if we know that whatever we're experiencing is to help us deepen and let go of even more definitions of ourself, things we're identifying as, then the worst things that we go through can become just a little easier. And eventually, there can be no suffering at all, no matter what is happening in our physical world. And it's really this that I want to talk about today here in Satsang because it is perhaps one of the most obvious things and yet one of the most overlooked things at the same time. In our awakening journey, um, people sometimes ask, what is the most direct thing that we can point to? And we did some of that last time, I think it was. We did some self-inquiry and we had some very deep seeing, some real breakthroughs, and people recognizing themselves to be not an object at all, not a thing, not a phenomenon, not an object, not a form, appearing as a form also, but first and most fundamentally, something that is before and even beyond the form, and yet inclusive of all form, all phenomena. And so, what I'm going to go over in this time, you can use it whether you've had a glimpse of who you are in your self inquiry or spontaneous insight, or whether you're still working towards that. It doesn't matter. It's not going to hold you back from applying what I'm going to say today. And in fact, what we're going to talk about today is perhaps the second fastest way to recognize who you are, the first being self-inquiry. And if you're new to this teaching, there are a whole host of videos here on the YouTube channel when this gets uploaded to YouTube. There's a whole playlist of self-inquiry videos. And as you heard before, there's a community you're welcome to join where we practice self-inquiry as one of the core teachings. But I wanted to look at identification in a slightly different way. What is identification and why is it the real crux of all spiritual issues, all life issues, in fact, really? And what can we do to speed that process of our body and mind stepping away from all identification? Because you are already free, formless. And each time we see that, we realize that identification, believing yourself to be a thing, is actually happening on the level of the mind. It is the mind, in a way, that is enlightening itself through a self-inquiry and meditation, contemplation, the core teachings that we practice here. You, though, are formless and have always been. You are not a phenomenon. And again, if you've had a glimpse of this, great. Check it out again. And again and again. But if you haven't, it's okay. Even intellectually, we can still apply and come to an experiential seeing. The first thing that happens in our The first major step in our awakening is when we begin to recognize that we're not who we think we are. Usually, right up until that point, who we think we are is having a really bad time. In my own life, right before I began to recognize I was not an object at all, I am that awareness, nothingness, emptiness in which all phenomena seem to arise. I'm like the sky, you're the sky, and the phenomena are the clouds. Or you are the ocean, and the phenomena are the waves that are coming and going. The ocean, the sky, is not affected at all by anything arising in it. And that's always going to be true, even when we believe it's not, even when we feel I am really affected by something right now. Something going on in, excuse me, in one of our relationships or finances or in the body or anywhere in our life, any experience at all. So the first thing to come to see is that I'm not a phenomenon. When I actually look for myself, when you actually look for who's living in that body, and you can do it now as we're talking, there's always been an assumption that I am a person, a subtle form, a subtle object living inside a physical form, a physical object. At some point, I moved in, and at some point, I'll have to move out. And when I really finally actually looked, I couldn't find any such person. I couldn't find anything tangible at all that I could point to and say that is me. Nothing perceivable, conceivable, or believable is me or you. Empty, formless awareness, sentience before form. Not a phenomenon at all. And so the process of beginning to unhook yourself from this idea of being a phenomenon begins in this kind of seeing. But we can have the most powerful self-inquiry ever. We can see I'm formless and infinite, omnipresent, always here, never dying, never changing, was never born. And then 2 minutes later, for me, in my journey, 20 seconds later, some fear would arise in the body, for example, and I'm scared is the very next thing that I would say. I'm scared. Or I'm in pain if there is some physical pain, or I don't have enough time, energy, money, patience, whatever. So in the very next moment, I'm identifying with what's happening to the mind and the body as if it's happening to me. 2 minutes before, I was seeing that I'm not involved in any of that at all. It's just going on in front of me. And my thought structure, really, awakening is simply that the thought structure gradually changes from mainly thoughts about being a someone to thoughts about being nothing at all, and then eventually very few thoughts at all. But if we look at what happens every time we go back into suffering, we'll see that identification is simply one thing over and over and over again. It is to believe that what is happening in the mind and the body is happening to you. So I have this big seeing of who I really am, and oh my goodness, how could I ever not see this? It's so obvious, and there's peace, there's tears of relief, and then 2 minutes later, I've lost it. I think I've lost it. There's confusion, there's fear, there's anger, because yet again, I seem to have seen it and lost it. or there's not enough of something in my experience, or too much of something, fear, shame, pain. And immediately it's picked up as me, me. It's happening to me. So if identification is simply this one thing only, to pick a phenomenon, any phenomenon at all, and say that it's happening to me, we have to believe ourselves to be an object, a form, a phenomenon in order to identify. Whether we realize it or not, if I'm suffering, I must be believing myself to be a form again. I must be believing myself to be an object, a person, a someone. What if then, instead of um, going back and identifying with some thing in phenomena, so I'm formless, I'm empty, I'm infinite, nothing was ever wrong. 2 minutes later, I don't have enough money. What am I going to do? Why do I always get in this problem? How can I ever fix it? And why can't I transcend this karmic pattern? All of that. What if the moment that the body started to feel tight, or some negative emotion, or constricted, or there's some lower state, that was now linked to actually asking if phenomena have anything to do with you at all? So first, we see that we're not a phenomenon. We see that we are that noumenon, that in which all phenomena come and go. The whole universe is happening inside you. And the formless awareness that you are is untouchable. It's not changing. It's not impacted by anything at all. But then later we still identify as a something or someone very subtly, and we think that phenomena can affect us. I'm irritated by all of these thoughts. My mind is driving me crazy. I can't cope with this feeling, this sensation, this fear. It's too much, it's too strong. We have as many ways to identify with phenomena as we do as suffering. There's an infinite number of ways you can do that. You might even be doing it right now. If you're trying to get something from this talk, if you feel you need to remember and understand what's been said, so that you can come out of identification and stay out of identification. If right now you're feeling peaceful, maybe you're also identifying, I have seen who I am, I have remembered who I am. Really. These are some of the most subtle ways we go back to being a phenomenon. So, what if there are only two things to be watchful of throughout your whole awakening journey? And these two things would apply no matter where you're at or what you're struggling with, the whole way through. First is thinking that you are a phenomenon, when in fact you are that in which all phenomena arise. I'll say that one again. The first one of the two is thinking that you are a phenomenon, an object of form. And in actuality, you are that in which all phenomena appear. You have countless bodies, countless arms, eyes, words, actions. All of it is you, all of it. And no forms are really what they seem to be. They're made of you, the formlessness. That's the first thing. The first one is to imagine that you are a phenomenon, coming and going, changing, born, dying, all of that stuff, suffering. And in the second one is to imagine that phenomena can affect you as that in which phenomena appear. So first to think you are a phenomenon, and then secondly to think phenomena can affect you. How many times, and I said it 100 million times at least, maybe a small exaggeration, um, I have seen who I am, but, or I have seen who I am, and this thing is still bothering me. Why hasn't it gone away? What if that thing, whatever that thing is, and as we said at the start, life has a way of showing you where you're still believing that you're affected by a phenomena, by what's coming up in our experience. And if you can recognize that you think some phenomenon is affecting you, formlessness, absolute intangibility. You're so intangible that you can't even think about yourself. What does it mean to be completely insubstantial and intangible? And can anything affect you from there? But then 2 minutes later, we think that fear is affecting the body. Thoughts are affecting the mind. Contractions affecting the body, pain, the body. Is any of it touching you, the formlessness? Why do we hold on to then? Why is this habit so pervasive? Because if you've got these two facts deeply, I'm not a phenomenon and have never been, and no phenomena can ever touch me or affect me. They're happening inside me. If you really got those two facts through deep seeing again and again, then all that's happening when this next experience happens that we don't like is that life is showing us the latest phenomenon that we think is affecting us. And it's usually some thoughts or some emotion or some sense of lack of something or excess of something. And if you had to have just two things written down on a piece of paper that would go all the way through your awakening, if you said I could only write two things down, it would be these two things, and I would take it with me forever. I'm not a phenomenon, and no phenomena can affect me. We hold on to this second one with such tenacity. Okay, it's okay that fear isn't affecting me, but it's sure affecting my body. Well, see what happens to that fear if you really, really, really recognize that no phenomena affects you. The body is a mirror. It's always reflecting back to us what we think. If I think I'm affected, my body will be affected to show me. If I think I don't have enough, my body won't have enough to show me. If I think I have too much of something, my body will be experiencing too much of something. From the most everyday thing, I'm not getting enough sleep. Is that true for you now, if you're not a phenomenon? The body may have not slept enough, but is it true that you have not had enough sleep? And what happens to the amount of hours the body sleeps when you let go of this idea that sleep is something you need? It's a very subtle phenomenon still, but nonetheless, what we all believe. So if you think about now your current problem that you've got, just go to that problem now and see if you can see in your mind's eye what the phenomena are that you think are affecting you. What are those things? And if you really, really look, you'll see that they're affecting the body or the mind and not the formlessness. Is that problem still relevant to the formlessness? So paradoxically, it becomes when you absolutely stand firm as that which is not affected by anything, only then does the body and mind have the ability to reflect this lightness, this ease, this sense of being completely free and unchanging and not being able to be affected by anything. Then the body and mind can reflect that to us. Until then, the body has to keep showing us, I really feel affected by something, really, really. And in that moment, I'm treating myself as a phenomenon again. So maybe you know that I'm always trying to find the shortcuts, the simplest, fastest way. And this is about as simple and direct as I can say it. You are not a phenomenon, and you are not affected by any phenomena. If the whole universe disappeared, you'd still be right here. There'd be nothing to see, but you'd still be right here. There'd be no thingness to see, only. And if we look at every single thing that every human being is suffering with, it comes down to one of these two things. Now, this isn't an anti-form teaching. I haven't got anything against forms or phenomena. I really quite love them, actually. So much so that I keep spinning them out infinitely. And so do you. But let's just be clear that they're not what you are. They're shapes you're playing with, and they cannot affect you. The source of all phenomena is not affected by any object, subtle or gross, any phenomenon. Just like the sky remains completely unaffected, whether there's no clouds, white clouds, or grey clouds, a tornado moving through it, or a bright sunny day. The sky is exactly the same. But there's no phenomena, really, really negative phenomena, really positive phenomena. Still, you remain unaffected, like the sky. So you could become quite simple in your practice, in your method, and just asking, do I feel like I'm a phenomenon right now? No. I can see that I'm formless. Okay, which phenomenon do I think can affect formlessness? Ah, and then the whole problem just goes away. It will literally vanish right in front of you. This phase of, I've seen who I am, but it went on for a very long time for me, and it was so painful for the body and mind, not for me. They would have done anything to receive this information. I would have followed it completely. So if you're in that position, if you're in that where you keep going back, which is pretty much everyone here in such a teaching, you wouldn't be drawn to a satsang like this if you weren't right at that end point of awakening, ready to be enlightened completely of these two ideas. These two. The first one, that you are a form, a phenomenon, an object. And the second one, that forms, phenomena, objects can affect you. And I'm repeating it so that it really stays prominent and planting some seeds here. The next time you feel yourself suffering, what if you stopped and asked yourself, do I think I'm a phenomenon? Which phenomenon do I think is affecting me right now? Is that true? Because if we are infinite freedom, looking like a human being, we might as well live like that. And it needn't take a long time. if there's real determination, and I know you have that, why would else would you give up your time to come to a satsang like this? I know you have that devotion and that determination because you are me. You have everything already that it takes. And even if you think you're not devoted enough, it's not true. No separate sense of self would find its way to a satsang like this. It probably would resist a satsang like this. It is the real self that you already are, the infinite awareness that finds its way to a satsang like this. Nobody's ego is going to show up to satsang just to be told it's not really real, actually, you know? Well, maybe some would, but who knows? So I hope that is hitting something inside. I hope it has penetrated something, like the most direct arrow that I could possibly shoot, right to the heart of illusion. These two ideas. No illusion can stand in the face of these two ideas being destroyed. They are the north on the compass, true north. So, having said all of that, if anyone would like to discuss what we've just talked about, or if you have a problem, then please, or a challenge, or it's just something you'd like to discuss, feel free to raise your hand and we'll see where we get to. Beverly?
Oh, thank you, Helen. Hello, family. Yeah,
Hi, love.
absolutely everything you're saying. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah.
Absolutely everything you're saying is, I'm thinking, well, this is all about me. Absolutely everything you're saying.
How
So,
could I possibly know what's going on with you right now, unless I was you?
well, that's the thing. You was me. So how can I be you now? And I am you. It just sounds so simple. I did do everything you just said. Oh, I'm gonna write everything down because this is the answer. I did everything you just talked about. And now I think there's an answer. Like, oh, the next time I'm having some idea of phenomena affecting me, suffering in any way, I'm going to ask, do I think I'm a phenomenon? So there's the answer. So I'm always looking for the silly strategy, you see. And it it sounds like the answer is always just come from the self. But sometimes I can't do it. So let me give you an example. Will that be all right?
Mm,
All right. Okay. So yesterday I'm feeling better than I have in weeks.
the body
And
is feeling better.
body's feeling a little bit energetic, and I have a sense of hope and even some joy. And so I decide to do a little cleaning, and
Actually,
within
cleaning just happened.
cleaning happened, it just completely took me out of the day, and the body had it was so disheartening because it did the cleaning happens, and then I notice that the breath is labored, and there seems to be like this response is like a physical response uh, to disheartenment or something, and all of a sudden I'm having to go back to bed for the rest of the day. So the body has to go back to bed, so the body goes to bed and it rests, and then it wakes up, it has hope again. And
What's the
so
story? This disheartening.
uh-huh,
What's the story when the body starts to feel tired? What is the story that comes?
yeah, definitely lack of energy, capacity, resilience, lack of resilience, a whole lot of lack in body.
So is it true? that you lack energy and resilience.
No, no, that's not at all true.
But can you see in that moment that you're really believing?
Yes,
If we could say, okay, the body is reflecting the idea that I lack, I think
yes,
I'm lacking.
yes,
So I'm being a person, I'm being a form in that moment, aren't I, with that story?
yes, yes.
What do you think the experience of the body would be if you were certain in those moments that you are infinite supply of anything and everything? Not that you have infinite supply, that you are the
Yes.
place from which infinite supply comes.
Well, there's the rub. I've even known that at times, and it is true. It completely dissolves everything, every sense of identification with body.
Yeah.
And so I already know what will happen, but I don't know it always. I, as a separate self, doesn't always know that truth.
Can it be true for you that you don't always know the truth?
No, I mean, it just sounds ridiculous when you ask these questions. It's like, of course not.
Sometimes I can remember, and sometimes when I really need to remember, I can't. That seems like a very real thing. But is
Yes.
that a problem for a person or for infinite awareness?
It isn't actually a problem because there isn't actually a person even, you know.
Well, even when we've seen that there's no person, we still hold on to the idea that the awareness is remembering and forgetting, right? So is
Yes.
that true? What's happening to awareness, infinite empty awareness?
No, awareness always knows. Awareness always knows. Always there's no lack in that at all. There's only the knowing
It's a,
of
if it is knowing, if it is awareing, if it is seeing, there's no way for it to not see. It just literally can't not be itself. It can't be something other than itself.
no, it can't be something other than itself, but it can show up seemingly looking like something other than itself. So what do I do with that?
So what if you write on a piece of paper, I don't even need to remember or forget. I can't
Oh, I like
remember, I can't forget. And you take it wherever you go, especially in those moments. So you have something happens, the body starts cleaning, and naturally, eventually, it will start to feel tired, like it's time to stop.
uh-huh.
The mind starts telling stories. Oh, here we go again. I need to remember that I'm infinite awareness. I can't seem to do it in this moment.
Yes.
And that I can't seem to do it is really held on to.
Yes.
And is that going to be true? Can you fail to remember if it's not even applicable?
No.
And this is like the finest point of identification, isn't it, for all of us?
So
Basically, right at the end of our awakening, we have only two experiences left. When I think I'm remembering and when I think I'm forgetting. And it goes around and around. And now I'm remembering who I am and everything's light and wonderful and the body's, yeah. And
right,
now I've
right.
forgotten and it feels terrible and my body's, ooh. It just goes this two alternating experiences.
So I'm I can never remember and I can never forget. Um,
Let's look at awareness now together. Let's experience it, or silence, or stillness, whatever you want to call yourself. Let's
mhm.
experience it, and everyone can do this. Who you really are, that which sees the body and mind. Can it remember and forget?
No.
So don't take that on as your work.
Um,
So free already that you don't even have to remember that you're free. Even that you can forget. And remember and forget forgetting as well, right? Forget forgetting and forget remembering. It's nothing to do with you. It's happening in the mind in front of you. If you don't pick it up, The body will reflect also that sense of freedom, lightness.
Okay.
It's natural. We see who we are for the first time, maybe, or again, and we have a taste of how that feels in the body. And of course, the next thought that comes in the mind is, I really, really have to hold on to this. What do I do to hold on to this? I don't want to
Yeah.
go back there. What
Oh
do I
yeah.
do to hold on to this?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, when you ask the question, can I forget? Can I remember? As infinite, when you ask the question, it's so clear. It's absolutely.
When is it not clear for you?
You see? You see what I'm talking about? When
So,
I ask that question, it's different. What's up with that?
so you ask that question, when is it not clear for you? Awareness. And there
Uh-huh.
might be a negative sensation in the body, or some
Uh-huh.
doubt, or frustration because I think I do really keep not seeing. I keep getting confused.
Yeah,
So apply it right now in this moment. Right now, together, it seems really obvious that you cannot forget
that's right.
or remember.
That's right.
And then later, you think you are affected by forgetting and remembering phenomena, subtle
Yeah.
phenomena. You think you're affected by a lower state in the body, another phenomenon.
Yes.
Is any of this affecting you?
No.
So even if there's a massive epiphany right now, hallelujah, a huge breakthrough, the clouds have gone, just the blue sky. I can't believe I never saw this before. Still nothing is happening to awareness.
That's right.
And the other side of that, seemingly, I've totally forgotten. I feel like I'm never going to see the truth again. I can't even remember what I'm supposed to do to try to get it back. I'm so disheartened, disillusioned. I just want this all to stop.
Yes.
What's happening to awareness?
Nothing. Nothing's ever happening to awareness. And now I have this little image of something laughing at me, like just laughing at me. But it's not even doing that.
So don't take what's happening to the body and mind as happening to you. The
Yeah.
mind seems to have forgotten. Later it seems to remember. Later it seems to forget.
Yeah.
Throw in some, I can't seem to do the spiritual work. I've forgotten how to do it. Also happening in the mind. And okay, I don't have any work to do. My work is only to see. I'm only seeing. I'm
Okay.
only seeing that I'm only seeing.
Yes. I'm only seeing that I'm only seeing. It's not personal. There is no personality. There's no person. It's only awareness. Yeah.
We can't quite let ourselves believe that just doing this one simple thing would change our whole life around. But
Well, I'm going to do it.
what if it's true? What if every problem that exists for us cannot be solved on that level? Can only be solved by living as a place where it doesn't exist, and then that begins to reflect in the body and mind in our life.
Yeah. That's the only place it can show up. Absolutely. All right. Okay, I'm gonna prove that this will work.
Good,
I'm going to prove that this will work.
good, good.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Next time the mind is doing the panic thing,
Uh-huh.
you just let it. You do nothing to try to fix it.
Okay, well, now I have another thing that comes up from that. So, that's kind of uh that's what I had been doing. Whether it looked like terrible pain and suffering, wailing and crying and wanting to die and everything else, I was just noticing that.
But this seed idea was still in there that you could do something, but you're just choosing not to right now.
I don't understand.
So if I feel I'm just watching this, I'm not gonna try and do anything with it. I'm just going to let it come and go,
Yep.
whether it's a really positive thing or a really horribly negative thing. Still underneath that is the idea that you could do something, that you are capable of action as awareness.
Yeah, that's right. You're
You
exactly
could
right.
choose to do some meditation or self-inquiry, for example, or something, right?
Right. But I couldn't actually do anything. I could just watch. I couldn't actually do anything.
I'm
And
only
then
seeing that I'm only seeing.
we've seen that I'm only seeing. Yeah, there's still a doing in that. I can feel it. Darn it.
Where's
And
the
it's
doing in that?
just in a separate sense of doing that, watching that which is watching. Just being with what is only and always watching. Still a doing.
Let's go
Feels like
back
a
and
doing.
check awareness again. What is it capable of doing?
Okay, right. Okay. All right.
That's my
I'll just
only answer. That's literally my only answer. I'm just finding very inventive ways to say the same thing. So go back and check who you are,
yeah.
actually. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay. No more questions. There's just that answer.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
for
I love you.
voicing everyone's question today. Yes. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Katie.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, love.
Hi, everyone. Oh, I feel silly asking this now. You've said all that. Um, because I'm just going to write it on either hand. Maybe have it tattooed.
It's okay. Just as happy to deal with imaginary problems as no problems. It's totally, and they seem real until we see through them. I totally get that.
And it's just the
Let's
same.
go through it again, just for repetition, right? It's okay.
I'm so, so sick of it. Before this Satsang, I was just listening to one of your meditations and you know, just accepting the moment. But there's just so much anger.
So accept that. Be
Yeah,
really, really freaking angry.
yeah,
Now, like, just get really angry.
yeah. And it's just what is happening as usual. And I know it's foreseeing and it's the opportunity, my lifelong opportunity, it seems, in this way in relationship.
We all have the karmic pattern that seems, till death do us part, and maybe not even then, you know.
Honestly. So since when you're the last satsang on relationships, which was so beautiful, and I went out that night on a date night,
Oh, wonderful
and I was
opportunity
thinking,
to.
oh, just yeah, you know, we are one and the same. And before I knew it, it had turned into some kind of hell.
So, what were you looking for from that being, if anything? Did you want some kind of security or approval?
Yeah, all of the above.
Okay. So, thank you, Mr. Not Quite Right or Mrs. Not Quite Right, or not even
Well,
slightly right, for showing
well,
me when
yeah,
I'm still shocked.
only 7 years in.
Okay, only 7 years in. Um, Let me be really clear what I was asking for from that person then, right? Were you able to kind of make a list, a shopping list of what you're asking unconsciously?
Yeah, and I I understand what you're saying, and this has been something that I've been working with for seemingly a lifetime, many lifetimes.
Is that story true?
I don't know. It feels like it is. Obviously, I know it isn't really.
Mhm. Let's have a look and see, shall we?
Yeah.
So what do you find when you look for yourself? There's a body sitting on a sofa. Who's looking through it?
just silence, really, formlessness.
How many karmic patterns does formlessness have to deal with today?
Absolutely none.
So could it be that you think, point number 2 that we went through today, that karmic patterns are affecting you, the formlessness? Really, 1 and 2 are the same thing. If I see fully enough, like if I see deeply enough what it means to be formless and not a phenomenon, are there any karmic patterns left to fix?
No.
And then I'm coming from a place of fullness where I don't need approval and safety and anything, in fact, from uh, this relationship. So maybe the Mr. or Mrs. 7 Years is the Buddha in disguise,
Yeah.
showing you. Um, I'm giggling at my own relationship and the past, not at you.
No,
How
it's so
much,
true.
how much
I
of
know it. I
Buddha
know
would
it
go
is.
away at a certain point. Thanks, Buddha, but can you just give me a day off? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sick of, yeah, exactly that.
the relationship is going to show you um, where you still go back into an idea that you need something,
Yeah.
that you're a phenomenon that needs something, right?
Yeah. And I know this, and I know this is the way, I know this is the way in for clearer seeing. And yet my reaction, my reactivity to this over and over again, no matter what in the moment before that I've seen, is so strong.
Hmm. What's that got to do
It's,
with you?
pardon?
What's that got to do with you? If the body freaks out in the middle of a restaurant and starts yelling and screaming, and that's it, we're over, I'm finished, we're done. I might have done that once or twice.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with you?
So this is it. In the moment, because this keeps happening and it's really strong and the
Hmm.
reactions are nuts.
Yeah, been there, done that. Don't worry.
And then turn back on me. So it's me that really, really, really suffers. The me.
What's that got to
So
do with you?
exactly. So in that moment, is it just I am anger is angering?
Yeah. Wind blows, rain pours, anger angers.
Because the more I seem to just be like, mm, the more intense and crazy I
What is
seem.
this gesture? What does that mean? You just did this, you just
Just
nod.
the suppression of
Ah,
what wants to come out, and then
can you suppress anything?
it seems not. No.
Aren't you actually having that experience right now, right? If I'm angry, I am a volcano. I'm not just mildly irritated. I am a, erupting volcano. If I'm
Yeah.
sad, I am sadness personified. If I'm bored, I'm just like, this is so tedious.
So this is my experience of life, and always has been
Yeah, because
full on whatever I'm feeling. But then the mind is so it's okay to just let it be as it is.
can you see inherent in that sentence you just said? It's okay to let it be as it is. There's an idea that you could do otherwise.
Yeah.
That's it right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if I think I
Oh,
can do something otherwise, I'll keep having experiences where I keep thinking I have to do otherwise, or should have, or shouldn't have, or all of those, right?
yeah.
What is. That's what embrace this moment or live as this moment or, you know, love what is. That's what it means. It's what is. It cannot be changed. You might like um, more mild irritation and less Vesuvius volcano next time in the middle of the restaurant. But right now, if it's a volcano, that's what is, right? This idea is like a virus in all of us that I could do something with this. I could.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the very same idea with Beth before, right? When I
Yeah.
seem to forget I could and should do something about it. But let's check again as awareness and see. And is awareness bothered or changed, whether it's joy, peace, or volcano eruption, or all of those at the same time?
No.
Who are you without this idea that you could do anything about anything, ever? The good stuff and the bad stuff.
Free.
So that seems to me like the thing to write on your hand. I can't do anything about anything. Well, maybe a
Yeah.
piece of paper might be more, or stick it as a note in your phone
No, I always write it on my hand.
until you shower and then, yeah.
Then have to rewrite it.
Maybe on date night, put it on there.
I definitely am going to write it on tape.
So, what is what is, and you have no capacity to change it. Paradoxically, by realizing that, it changes. If I think I have to do something about this, I'll keep experiencing needing to do something about it and not being able to. And it goes on and on and on. And that's really the only karmic pattern any of us really ever affected by. In the sense that we can do something. And again, it's just, I haven't quite seen fully what it means to be awareness. This illusion of doing has to disappear.
So
Even subtle doing, like if I do some contemplation while I'm sitting at the table, is it really true I can't get what I want? When I'm reading the menu so nobody can see me, you know?
yes, I do know.
If that arises spontaneously, so be it, but let's not believe we're doing it.
So the pain felt is just pain felt.
Yeah, it just is. It's isness everywhere. Isness appearing as pain, anger, embarrassment because I blew up again, I erupted again, or, the self-blame afterwards. Just what is, I'm appearing as self-blame, embarrassment, pain, all of it, anger, appearing as the other body sitting across, wondering why are we still doing this, whatever the thoughts are.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's brilliant.
So just this one thought that affects everything, that I can or I'm choosing not to do something about this. I can or should do. Formlessness, it's formless, it's as intangible as it gets. There's no hands to do anything, to pick anything. There's no mind in formlessness to decide to do any spiritual practice. It's just what is appearing as all these shapes. It's a very different thing then. I remember when I used to listen to loads and loads of satsangs, I always get the answer is always so simple and so enlightening when you hear it. And the mind is immediately saying, that's too freaking simple. That is not going to work. Every problem I have, you know,
Yeah.
or I'm going to forget this. It is simple. I can see it's true, but I'm going to forget this in 5 minutes or in the restaurant.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. So this has to be the most important thing that we begin to finally we're starting to see all the work is to get to the most important thing. What is the core of all problems I'm having right now? Is this one idea that I think I can do something. I think I'm a phenomenon that can make some action. Write it
Oh
down
my.
anyway, though. Yeah, write it down anyway.
Oh, thank you.
I know it's awful. It's and right at that point where you just I just want out of this. That's when it stops because the
Yeah,
intensity is so this idea is so believed that it has to become so intense that we
yeah,
finally are willing to question. I mean, how many times have we heard that we're not doing anything? Yeah, 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 that's nice. But what do I do about this problem?
yeah. Before I came on here, I was literally like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm so done. I
There it is
can't
again,
do.
right? I can walk away.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
how
like,
many
I've got
times?
to, I can walk away. I know, and I knew that as well,
Yeah,
and I just like,
yeah. I'm going to opt out of awakening. I did that at least 7 times, at least. I think the longest I lasted was an hour before I was watching another satsang online. And I was annoyed at myself even, like, why am I watching this? I don't want to do it.
I know. But there was also a known that obviously at this point there was just knowing there was nothing to do. Like,
The only way through it is through it.
yeah, yeah,
Been there, done that. And you do come out the other side. And you are still sane. In fact, you're more sane than you've ever been. This idea of doing this, even that I'm doing spiritual practice, choosing which practice to do, it's so pervasive throughout all of human thought, isn't it? And
yeah,
we might have realized I'm not the one doing what the body's doing, but I'm still identifying with what spiritual practice is going on as if I'm orchestrating it somehow. And it's such a subtle way of thinking that we're doing. Even that I can be inauthentic or authentic, it's nonsense.
oh my God,
Authenticity is the only option. That's real freedom.
yeah. Yesterday I found myself doing this big art collage, like in and out from, and thinking, well, thinking, what that, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this, but it's just happening. It's just
I
happening.
should be
I
watching
should be
that.
meditating.
Yeah. Should be reading scripture. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the
They could
fastest
not,
piece of art I've ever done. It was just so because I wasn't doing any of it.
exactly. And just don't believe that at any point. Just be all of it. Don't be one part of it that you think that you're doing. Just be all of it.
Yeah. Oh wow, this is brilliant. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, we'll go to Paul. And we'll hopefully have time to squeeze in Manon, I think. So, hi, Paul.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing? That wasn't a pun. That wasn't intended as a joke. Sorry. I just what are you doing? How are you doing?
It's hard to answer these questions because it really depends on the moment, right? So maybe yesterday was really dark and no hope at all.
Hmm.
And maybe some other moment I just connect a little bit more with my own reality. Just by instance, the other day I was writing from anxiety, from the anxiety, and I write a lot. And so I see my own narrative repeating once again. So
Yeah.
I could like see that and go a step back and see what happens. I don't really know why I. Sorry, my English that's a little bit
Your English is amazing.
okay.
It's better than my Spanish. Definitely.
Uh, okay, so, well, I'm gonna share a little bit. See, so I feel a little bit stuck in my life. Also, uh, I realize my mind is getting in the way. And that's when when I ask myself, what do I want? Well, when I say what have I done in my life, I see like in general, I've been reacting, going from one place to the other. Always reacting from fear or just with rage or even vengeance, a lot of vengeance. Um,
Sometimes that's all you've got, right? Vengeance. That's
hmm?
all. Sometimes that's all you've got. That's all that seems to be for me. Wanting to, uh, well, vengeance is a good word. Wanting to,
Hurt somebody you
yeah,
actually love.
that was all I had left, yeah,
Uh-huh.
for a while.
Anyway, the reality is I feel very weak, really, because uh, mm, I'm 33 years old right now. I'm back in my father's house, my parents' home. I've been here for some months. I'm trying to get a new place to live. Uh, and it's really hard. I sometimes it's maybe it's just because right now this is like a world problem. Think about getting a fair price home,
Yeah.
but also I feel like I just jeopardized or like go against it. No way. When I got the chance, I reject it or well, I don't know. So this is one of the main problems, and I feel like and being still in this home, it's very challenging for me because um well, I can be thankful of the opportunity, but at the same time, makes me feel powerless.
Mhm.
Uh,
When I
yeah.
was 31 years old, I had to move back in with my parents with three children. My whole life collapsed. And it was one of those moments where, uh, one of many moments where I simply can't do this life thing that everyone else seems to be able to manage somehow, right? It was quite a low point for this separate person. But from that, something comes, something begins to, there's something happening inside, right? As you're looking for somewhere to live on the outside, there's something changing inside for you, which is really quite important to notice as well.
Yeah, the fact is that I go switching. Sometimes I don't really I I realize I don't really know what I want. I know this you can see it from a nice point of view, right?
Mm.
Sometimes it's actually quite hard. 'Cause, Um, right
Let's
now, I
let's
did.
start with,
Mhm.
let's start with how you want to feel. How do you want to feel?
This I know.
That's enough, right? That's enough. Just to focus on that. I'd like to feel, what would you like to feel?
Well,
Don't mind sharing.
it's been like actually 7 years since I have like anxiety,
Mhm.
a lot of anxiety coming to me or making it eat up. So I think my purpose is just to be. okay with no anxiety. I would really love to remove the anxiety because it's not a way of, I mean, it's not worth living with anxiety
It affects
because
everything.
it's like first it's maybe it's the questions, no, then um, mind, then heart, then burst with anger. Sometimes I sit down here and self-inquiry and my whole body's shaking like, well, that's another thing. You know.
Can I give you um something to do for the next 30 days? You know, I love my 30 days.
I'm trying with the one sentence, but yeah, of course.
Yeah. Would you try to be as kind as you can to yourself, no matter what happens? Try not to, try not to, and sometimes it will happen, but try not to let anything that happens to the body or your in your life or your emotions, anxiety, be a reason that you criticize yourself. Maybe those things are an opportunity to be kinder to yourself, to let go of judging yourself. This when my life kind of collapsed and I found myself back living with my parents with three children, there was an excellent opportunity to criticize everything about myself, right? And even intense self-hatred. And it actually became clear after a while that it was an opportunity for the opposite. So this isn't where I want to be or what I want to be experiencing, but can I stop judging myself anyway? Does my worth, is it dictated by how much I've got my life together? Certainly not, and neither is yours. And it was only when I stopped judging and criticizing myself so much, or when mind said something critical, that I actually added to that. I continued with something positive. Like, here I am still trying. I'm still here. I'm still on the path. I'm still showing up for satsang. I'm still showing up for meditation. I'm doing the best I can. And my life circumstances don't need to define whether I'm good enough or not. Finally, it came to this resolution inside that I will not criticize myself for any reason at all. I can't do it now. I don't want to. And I want to invite you and anyone else that wants to do the same thing. What I see is someone really strong, despite some really intense circumstances, that is still here, still showing up, doing the best that you can. Having the courage to share like this as well that's the strength of the real self. That's pretty immense. Maybe you can see yourself a little bit more that way.
Yeah. But so this is interesting, right? Because um, there's a part of me that feels empowered by criticizing myself. This morning, by instance, I just
Really?
wrote what, yeah, energized,
Really?
let's say. I
You,
don't know.
you feel good when you criticize yourself?
No, no, there's an habit, let's say. So it's a mind habit, right? So sometimes I can just step outside from this or even work with words and tell myself some, like, for instance, um, like remember myself, like the Buddhist precepts. So
But you always have the last word. Mind will say whatever it says, good or bad, about you. You get to choose what the last sentence is you can add on. And I choose not to believe any of what my mind has just said. You always have the last word, right? You always win the argument. because you are the one in charge. It doesn't matter what the mind says, it matters what you finish with, where you leave it at the end, right?
And what should I do when it's like not just my mind, but because sometimes I just try to write, but the energy is so vast. It's like I'm gonna be literal with this, but this is what happens. I have too much energy.
That's okay.
I don't know what to do. This is not enough, actually.
Can you just say something kind about yourself right now, that you're doing the best you can, for example,
Mhm.
in difficult circumstances? Can you think of anything else you could say to yourself that is positive and loving? Right now, let's do this right now.
Mm.
It's good that even in the worst of times, I'm trying to use whatever experience I'm having to see clearer. It's really good that I'm still here, still trying. I notice that nothing ever really stops me. It might slow me down, but nothing has stopped me yet. These are all my favorite go-to things when I needed something to cancel out what the mind had just said. Can you spend some time, a little bit of time each day, just thinking about the positive traits and the positive qualities that you already have? Every time I've spoken to you, you've shared the depths of your soul. You've not held back at all. And not many people can do that straight away. Even the first time we spoke, you didn't hide anything. That's very unusual. You can recognize that, right?
Yes, I'm an honest guy, of course.
So that's your job the next 30 days. To have the last word every time. After the mind, you have the last word, right?
And what can I do when words are not enough?
Tell yourself that's okay. It's okay, right? Do you have people in the Sangha that you can reach out to also for help?
Yeah,
You need
I
to name
know.
any names, but
I know some.
then reach out as much as you can, as much as you feel able to. It's very, very important to have those connections in the very challenging times. And if it helps to know that I've been right there and come out the other side, then hold on to that too.
Okay.
I will always love you only. There's only love here. And now you have to do that for yourself as well, right?
It's very impressive when some dog comes to say hi, I say hi to a dog. This is also kind of meditation.
But only from such a dark place can the light actually begin to emerge, that we really are to live like that. And that's what's happening right now. Wonderful. So you have your homework now for 30 days, okay? And then you come back and tell us after 30 days if you want to. Yeah.
Okay, so be kind to me.
Be kind to you. Be your biggest fan. Be your own best friend, right? Had to do this too for myself.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing so honestly and bravely. Yeah. See you in 30 days. Wonderful. And we'll finish with Manon before we end for today. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, sorry.
Hello, do you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Oh, great. Video.
Ah, wonderful to see you.
Hi. So it's my first time here, so
Welcome, welcome.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Since 7 years, I have these severe tensions in my head, and they're so strong. But they're also my guide.
Could you tell me again, you have what in your head?
Tensions.
Tension, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they started when I gave birth to my daughter 7 years ago, and
Was
I
it
think it
a
has to do.
traumatic birth, if you don't mind me asking?
Sorry?
Was it a traumatic birth?
It was a traumatic birth, but I think it takes me back to my own birth, that I almost died at my own birth. So it's teaching me so much myself. I'm getting to know myself, and all the things that you just said. I got so many answers, but still, but still, when I'm have contact with my true self, and I'm the open space and allowing the tensions, they're still so strong. And is it that I'm looking, I'm just wanted to see, like, what am I doing wrong, or do I have to look at it differently, or
What if it's the idea that you're doing something wrong that is reflecting as that tension? The idea that you could do something wrong causes so much tightness and tension in the body and in the emotions and the mind.
when I hear myself saying that, I'm so identified with the person, my mom, like I have to fix it. And then I'm always switching, like, from the identification with my true self. And
Can we experience that right now, what you really are together? Can we just have a look and see?
yes,
What do you find when you look for yourself?
then I feel that I'm an open space where everything is allowed.
Yeah. That open space, is it switching back and forth? Is it changing?
It's not.
And is it forgetting and remembering?
No, but I have the feeling that I'm going back and forth.
Some things going back and forth.
Yes.
Is that you?
No.
What does that mean then? When this going back and forth happens, it's something going on in the body and the mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to you, the open space. So can you do anything about that? And do you need to do anything about that?
Yeah, I feel a lot of control, like, because it's so intense. Sometimes I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
That the control comes, like, and then I have to remember myself. Oh no, you cannot do anything. Let it go.
But you, this open space, are you any different whether there's a feeling you can control or a knowing that you can't? Are you even the one that's having to remember that you can't do anything?
Mm.
let's go back to the direct experience of who you really are, this open space,
Mm-hmm.
in which the idea of I have to do can arise. It's allowed, like you said. But
Yeah.
is it true for you, this open space, that you have to remember even?
No, I am.
I am. That's the only true thing you could ever say to me. I am.
But
And this idea that you've put this heavy burden on yourself, like we all do, that I have to remember this that is so important to remember, I must remember.
mm-hmm.
The body reflects that burden, that tension, that tightness. How does the body feel right now if you remember, if you see this open space and recognize it's not doing anything? There's no work for it to do. Let's experience it again together. One more time. There's no work going on there, is there? There's no spiritual practice even. All of that's just happening by itself in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
You just are. I am, you said.
Then I begin to relax.
Yeah. So can you see that this is not actually a problem with the body, that the body is a mirror? It starts to relax as soon as you see that you're free now
Mm-hmm.
and could never not be. The body starts to reflect that back. When you think, I have some work still to do, I have to remember, the body starts to reflect that back. This tightness and tension.
Okay, I feel it.
So, as often as you can, just checking this out, who you really are, experiencing it, that it's already free, you're already free. The only true thing is I am. Anything that comes after I am is not really true for you. I'm remembering, I'm forgetting, I'm sleeping, eating, driving, I'm meditating, all of that is just, we cut it off. I am. And then when the mind says you need to do this, you say,
Mm-hmm.
not today, thank you. No thanks. Let yourself enjoy that relaxation.
Feels like a lot of burden is coming off my shoulders.
So we see that the body feels burdened because we feel burdened. When we notice how free we are, the body feels free too, right?
Mm.
So this is the most important thing to recognize and see again and again. I'm already free. I'm still free. There's no way for me to get caught. That's never happened to me. I am only open space. There's nothing tangible about you, is there, to get caught? Body and mind, excuse me, the body and mind take their cue from you. And as you experience, I'm still free. I'm still free. I'm still free. I'm still free. I could never do anything. I'm still free. Could never be caught. You're experiencing it. You could do this 100 times a day. When I was really ready to be done with the illusion, I would be self-inquiring like this 150 times a day, every sitting on the toilet, in the shower, making the tea, and obviously in my morning practice, but um, in an elevator waiting to get to another floor, there's nothing else to do. Let me check out that I'm formless. I was insane, crazy about it. But I was done with it, right? I was so done with
I'm
thinking.
done with it too.
I can see it in your eyes and everyone I've spoken to today. So find those
Okay,
little moments through the day like that, right? When you're doing the dishes, formlessness, washing dishes.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you for
I
being.
feel it.
Just keep coming back and experiencing like this.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. It's been an amazing, amazing ride. And we have, wow, nearly 90 minutes just looking at the clock. Where did that go? And thank you for sharing so bravely, so honestly, so openly, everyone. And just want to encourage you that although the answer may always seem too simple for the mind, it is the only answer. And I never managed to solve a problem that was going on in the body and mind by focusing on the body and mind. It just never happened. So it may seem to the mind that we're ignoring a problem, but really it's living from that place where it doesn't exist. Therefore, the body stops experiencing it. Thank you so much. Namaste.